the counter-ad response video. Somebody's got to do it. Alright, vegetarianism and ethics. 4. It's kind of a short video, so I guess we'll play it, right? Seems doable.
Hypothetical situation.
Okay, hypothetical. That means not really real. Yeah, that's what it means. Okay.
Yesterday, I considered myself to be a carnivore.
I don't know why you would even say that, right? I mean, what, you're a carnivore? You really think that biologically you're a carnivore? That really makes a whole lot of sense? You behaved like, it just carnivore really just goes with the idea that you're biologically built to, chase things, grab them, chomp, chomp, chomp. Not the way we do it.
Today, and for the rest of my life, I plan to practice strict veganism.
Okay, so that part's the lie, because he doesn't really plan to do that. This is just a hypothetical. So if I hypothetically say, yesterday I was an ethically decent human being, but today I've decided, fuck that, I'll just take what I want. So I think I'm going to start raping women and children and koala bears. And so I plan to just rape the fuck out of them tomorrow. And for the rest of my life, just rape the fuck out of them. Okay. Continue.
Is it possible in any demonstrable way to judge whether or not I am any more ethical now?
Yeah. So am I any more of a rapist now than I was yesterday? Or now, of course, you can be judged. Okay, you're judged on what you do, not on what you say you're going to do, right? So I mean, all your victims are already past crimes, right? So they're all, victimized. And the only question is how many, like Scrooge, how many links in the chains, how many little chains do you have, burdening your name and reputation as an existing human? How much damage have you done? That's about all there is. I mean, these questions of, even being, is there such a thing as value to a pointless effort? Or, this got me just thinking, like, I mean, obviously this is a stupid, he's poising as if it means something. It doesn't mean anything. Alright? I mean, the idea isn't to just not sin no more in principle. The idea is to sin no more in practice. Words don't mean anything. Promises don't mean anything. They're nice. Okay, it's really great that you would say it if you meant it, but it doesn't do it. It doesn't, just as I'm not a rapist because I'm going to rape tomorrow. That doesn't make me a criminal. It doesn't make me anything. Really. It's like, so I was thinking about like a war or something, right? Now, you could be a conscientious objector. Well, what good does it do you? It doesn't do anybody any good. You go to prison, let's say, or something, peeling potatoes or harsh life, or, you even get run over in the street, not being at war. So you don't even win doing it. But you're not going to stop the war. They're still going to fight the war, and it's likely that your one individual participation isn't going to matter. But the fact is that if everybody conscientiously objected, or if half the soldiers did, it would matter. So you have to do it. Somebody has to be the first brick, and if the rest of the bricks don't get built, well, that's just the way it turned out. But somebody has to be the first brick. And these are just the dilemmas of existence, that sometimes you have to invest in things that it just won't work. You'll, throw the rock at the Goliath, and you'll miss, and you'll lose. But you had to throw the rock. Because that throwing the rock is the only way you can win. So, I mean, in the end, you're a loser, but it doesn't mean that you did the wrong thing or that you committed a crime of some kind. It just means you lost. Yeah. I mean, it's just the truth of it. Sometimes good intentions get you nowhere. Sometimes bad intentions get the world everywhere. It just works out that way sometimes. But we know that most of the time, if you say, I'm going to be a good guy and I'm not going to hurt the little animals no more, that the odds are that over the course of your life, you will prevent a whole bunch of harm, and that'll be a good thing. That's the odds. That's the way it'll probably work out, is that you'll put a little tiny bit less pressure on the animal exploitation, and it'll work. And if more and more people do it, as more and more people are doing it, it puts less and less pressure on these animals to serve your indulgence, and they are spared harm. So you, like Superman or Underdog, you show up and basically save the day. Yeah, that's a good thing. So yeah, that's the way it'll probably work out. But sometimes it doesn't. This is the way it works out.
Than I was yesterday.
So again, like I said, it's not about what you wish to do or hope to do or dream to do or any of this kind of crap. It's about what you do. All right? So you just hypothetical, just made fun of, okay, sinning no more, and plan to just go out and sin some more and rip their skin off and make them go scream, scream, yell, yell, ouch, ouch. And basically mocking it now. You're just mocking the future victims. Like I could be a rapist, and I can just be mocking their suffering by just saying, I'm not going to rape anymore. No. I mean, it's just bullshit. This is bullshit.
Thank you.
Yeah, fuck you. I mean, really. So anyway, put here, judge not, lest you be judged. Matthew 7:1. He used to be doing the Buddha thing, now he's doing Christian thing. But anyway, this isn't one of the best Christian things anyway, right? And it's really about hypocrisy, right? It's not about judgment in general. It's about specific judgments. It's about don't accuse somebody of adultery when you're a fucking adulterer. It's that's that obvious. But I mean, the whole point of having intelligence is judgment. The God that wrote this, right? Supposedly, the supposed God that wrote these words, or thrust them into the mind of man, through his mental intercourse. That God is full of judgment. That God's obviously not afraid of being judged, right? And we can certainly judge the whacked, crazy, fuck psychotic that the God is, right? Kills little women's and children's and such. So these words don't mean anything. The authority of these words is a joke. The whole book is full of freaking judgments. And it's what brains naturally do. It's the whole function of our order is to make judgments of good and bad, of attractive, repulsive. This is the function of the frickin' sentient biology. This is the product it produces. It's a sensation of pleasant and nice, and a sensation of repulsive and disgusting. This is the nature of the beast. It is ludicrous to say this is not what we should be doing. But what we shouldn't be is fucking hypocrites. Yes, and you're just being a hypocrite. You're saying that one kind of harm is okay, and another kind of harm doesn't matter. Well, you're saying one kind of harm does matter and one kind of harm doesn't matter. And no, all harm matters. It just matters to different degrees depending on the circumstance. And so that getting back to your meat is murder thing, talk about straw man. So other people aren't allowed to use, playful rhetoric, or excessive rhetoric. And yet you compared people who haven't even passed a law yet to Sharia, and compared the imposition of reason-based, empathetic judgment with dogma, with 2,000-year-old crap. Imposing completely invasive crap on socially irrelevant, completely personal behavior that implicates yourself, versus behavior that implicates and affects other people. I mean, really, there's all kinds of, there was house slaves, there was field slaves, there's all kinds of degrees of crime and criminality. And yeah, the idea is to talk people out of being what they are, to convince them that there's a better way to live. And the last thing I think most people who are advocates for anything want to do is to have to impose. They just want change. And they'll try to persuade people to change. And that's what's being done here, is people are making arguments trying to persuade people to change. And if the idea of putting the idea of, well, yeah, what is the act of killing an animal? Incarcerating it, torturing it, and murdering it, killing it. What is that? If it isn't a kind of a murder. If it doesn't fit into the category of a murder. When you're doing it not because you have to do it, not for your self-defense, not to defend anything you have to have, but to indulge, your selfishness. Period. An indulgence. That's what murderers do. Okay? They take from somebody else because they need or want something. Not because it's vital, but not to defend their life, but to take something they want. It's comparable. It's a fair word. It's it's rhetoric, whatever you want to call it, hyperbole, some other kind of bullshit. But yeah, it's common in the use and function of rhetoric. That's what you do. You kind of make, to illustrate. People often use the extreme example to illustrate something, to demonstrate it, to show what it is. They don't use the stuff in the gray, fancy area. They use the stuff that's clearly over there. Alright? So, play in the real ball field. Quit pretending that everything's some kind of gray fence area, because it's not. For this, thank you very much. And such. I hit the button. I hit the button twice. Maybe I'll hit it twice.